Hello and welcome to Basement Fodder, the only show recording live from Stebbins Con. I'm Todd, and I'm currently surfing the booth by myself as my booth partner, the original Basement Babe Victoria, is off footing around and shopping with our good friend Gwen, who came to visit us. And it's been a pretty decent show so far. Unfortunately, it's the end of the year kind of show, so we don't get a huge amount of crowd, but Stebbins is for a good cause, and it's always fun to come out and do it. Got to chat with Ben Peter of SyFy's Face Off for a few minutes, and hopefully if he gets some time, he'll come over and do some audio with us. That would be super awesome. I'm playing the wonderful, magical $1 dice game over and over all day long. It's probably, it's about 2:30 now, and we've been here since 10 a.m. Well, I've been here since 8 a.m. because I had to do setup. And we're trying to pass the time. I bought a Battletoads pen. That's super fun. And been taking pictures, with the ladies. Because the ladies love Todd. I can't even say that without laughing. I can't say it with a straight face. I'm sitting here drinking Diet Coke because I'm not supposed to have sugar, even though I love sugar. And I've only got about an hour and a half, 2 hours left until the end of the show. My good buddy Aaron from Roma Collectibles stopped by and talked to me a little bit earlier, and Amanda Gilliam from Amanda Gilliam Podcast came by and gave me a big hug because she loved me. This devil right here, the podcasting devil of no voicelessness. Victoria, what have you been doing at the show so far?
Talking to the devil of voicelessness.
Yes.
And looking around at stuff. I bought a couple comics. Keep eyeballing some toys, but then I'm like, nope, it's not time of year to buy for me.
Anyways, I'll let you go. I'll talk to you later.
She keeps putting her hand on my knee, and I keep telling her.
I didn't know I love my hand on your knee. My hands are on my knee.
Your phone conversation's being recorded.
Talking to my mom.
Yeah.
Todd is having a very, very fun time of being surrounded by ladies.
I am. The ladies, they don't. I can't say it out loud.
The ladies love you?
They don't. Women hate me.
Why are we here?
Women and small children.
What are
small children are afraid.
I think maybe we're not ladies.
Are we not ladies?
Women, but not ladies. I'll give them that. I'm not very classy.
The Basement Babe is the classiest of all.
There we go, yeah. The madams love him.
Small child.
I'm used to it.
The small children are afraid of me. They only come to the table when I leave.
No, actually, I haven't done any of the game.
Oh, really? That's usually the second I walk away, 10 people will come and play.
Yeah, but not today. It's because usually I'm like, hi, what's the game? And today I'm just like, meh.
It's the last show of the year.
I'm sleep deprived.
Depriving? Is that a thing? Deprived, maybe?
Yes. See? Point taken.
Depriving.
Point taken.
It sounds Irish.
Depriving today. Sounds like an Irishman going to the bathroom. Did I go to the depriving today?
Could you go to the depriving?
Oh, see? Said, no sleep for me.
The game has been popular with the same people over and over again, which happens every time. There'll be this one group of people at every show that will come and play over and over again because it is addictive.
At least the last show, the people that came and played every time, they were nice, talkative. Yeah. These ones,
less than talkative.
If you look at them wrong, they're gonna think that you're a terrorist or something. They're just.
I'm sitting here pissed that I don't have more money because there's a Shield t-shirt over there that I want to take home with me. Although I doubt that it will fit my big fat ass anyway. But you never know.
There's lots of comics and stuff that I was looking at. They have a bunch of 50-cent comics. I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, gosh, I probably should.
I have bought so many comics this week. Dave and I keep going to the bookstore and buying stacks and stacks of core comics. I probably bought 60 comics this week, so I don't need any more fucking comics right now.
It's like I'm through the ones I bought last weekend.
Yeah.
Which wasn't very many, it was only 8.
I bought massive stacks. I did buy one comic. I bought a comic from our buddy Sean Forney, who's here. Mice Templar comic. I think he did the colors on it. Oh no, he did a pinup in it. That's what it was.
I bought comics for Sean Corney as well.
Yes, you got his creator-owned project. Yes, Scarlet Huntress.
Yes.
He draws it and Stephanie writes it. Yes, it's very attractive looking werewolf comic. I recommend that you go and look for it if you like pretty werewolf pictures.
Yeah, the artwork is really what sells
Very
it.
excellent artwork, yes. Sean is a very talented guy. I'm a fan, obviously, if you looked at the walls of the Basement of Doom. I keep staring at the posters because they're so cheap right now. Like, he's got those big, giant, wall-sized posters for $10.
I've been over to his booth twice now, and I never realized that those were for sale. I
know, those are $10.
I really did think those were the signs.
He's got the Hulk, like the one that I have the little one of. He's got a big one of that for $10, and I need to have it in my life. There's a guy here. I don't know what his name is. He's selling movies. He's wearing the most ridiculous outfit I've ever seen in the history of man.
I think it's awesome.
He's like rainbow striped pants on and some sort of weird hippie tie-dyed shirt.
It's like a hippie tie-dyed Hawaiian style.
Yeah, and then another hippie tie-dyed shirt underneath it that's a different color.
But I mean, if you drop some acid, you can stare at him for like 3 hours straight.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
He also has a bunch of rubber bands in his beard, which are entertaining me too. Because when he talks, he bounces up and down like.
They can't see you going.
They know what I'm doing.
It was implied.
Honestly, that doesn't bother me so much as it does like the very crisp line right there for like the attempted mutton chop that he's got.
My mutton chops are better.
Not as anger-inducing as Seamus's Dookie braid beard, but it's annoying.
It's for me because they're uneven. So
I can't stop looking at Troy's booth because he's got those stockings and he's got a bunch of tribbles all over his booth, and I want both. Like, I want the Klingon stocking. Troy, of course, from the Uncommon Geek podcast, which is an awesome show. But he's got they did homemade Christmas stockings, like geek stockings, and there's a Triforce one. There's Flash and Reverse Flash. And Superman and Green Lantern, but there's a Klingon symbol of Kalis one, which I really want that one. And then they've got tribbles like fucking all over their booth. It's just tribble fucking palooza. The tribbles have been multiplying the entire time. They're insatiable. They are insatiable.
Oh, wait, I see one. Never mind.
What?
That little mini one. This seems to be a Deadpool one, that little tiny mini one.
Yeah, the little one, yeah.
The little one's all Deadpool being tiny.
Fuck Deadpool.
Tiny.
We already know. Everybody already knows how we feel about Deadpool, so let's not talk about it.
I feel about the same. People keep trying to sway me, like, oh no, you really like it. And I'm like, the fandom ruined it for me.
Yeah, Deadpool fans ruined Deadpool for me.
Like, I had never even really heard of Deadpool until I met the fans, and I was like, no, not so much a fan.
Oh god, Diet Coke tastes like shit.
He's mad because...
I'm not mad. I bought another one.
Oh, did you go buy another one?
Yeah, and a crappy hot dog. Because I was hungry.
He sent me to go get a soda, so I bought him a diet soda. I know that's what he's supposed to have.
Yeah,
it's like,
because the basement babe's trying to regulate me and my sugar intake.
I'm trying to keep you around.
Why? I'm terrible.
Because who else would I go to conventions and sit like this with?
Dave?
Dave doesn't go to conventions. He works.
Bastard. Oh, the wonders of live podcasting.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to hit the pause button to be annoyed. Did you look at the Axe Giant guy's booth? The one he's the one for the sign up down there.
No, because every time I went to go over that way, the Paranormal Society people honed in on me. And I'm like, no.
They're nice. They're very nice.
I know. I talked to him last time I was there, and I talked to them for 2 hours. Enough time to make you and Dave think that I ran off. You guys thought I left.
I know. They're trying to jump ship to WPI. I want to go ghost hunting. That'd be fucking awesome.
Well, like, you know how I feel about ghosts.
If I weren't a fatty, I'd totally go do it.
You should go do it.
But, see, I can't do the urban exploration because I'd love to do it. I would do it in a fucking second. But I can't do it because my fat ass would just fall through rotten floors all the time. And tell me it's not true.
It's not true.
Shit.
Listen, I'll just go with you. I'm accident prone. I'm the one that broke my back falling down the stairs. So you would be standing there bouncing on the floor and I would take a step forward and fall through.
This other voice that you hear, that's not my crappy voice or Victoria's beautiful voice, is our friend Gwen who came to visit us.
That's my crappy voice? Thank you.
My crappy
not my
voice.
crappy voice. That's Gwen.
That's Gwen.
That's so mean.
You sound better than me. I sound like hot shit right now.
At least it's hot shit.
Hot shit, hot shit.
You could sound like gross shit.
Yeah.
Sound like 6 foot of shit. I hear Doofenshmirtz.
I'm sorry.
Doofenshmirtz is guest starring on the show.
We're taking over the
Dude,
tri-state
if I could
area.
get fucking Doofenshmirtz on the show, I would do it. I would fucking do it.
That would be amazing guests. We're
With my voice sounding as shitty as it sounds right now, I could be Steve Austin.
We'll have Steve Austin and Doofenshmirtz.
Stone Cold Steve Austin and
Can
Doofenshmirtz.
we get Will Wheaton's character with the real high-pitched voice? Was it Granstar?
Will Wheaton.
Yes, Granstar.
I can't do it because my voice is good.
We need Will Wheaton from the Guild. Will Wheaton, though.
It'd be Stone Cold. I'd be like, this booth is bullshit. There ain't no WWF superstars there.
Is that your booth? I don't care.
This booth is bullshit. That's the bottom line. Because Alan said so. It's Alan. Fuck. I'll edit that out later.
Edit here.
Edit these nuts. Are you familiar with Bofa?
Both of these nuts?
Bofa these nuts. In your mouth.
Is that like Famunda? Famunda this dick.
Famunda this dick.
I said this to a guy at work the other day, and he had no idea what I was talking about.
It's sad when you have to educate men about their own parts and the nastiness of.
I was like, Famunda, and he's like, what's that? And she is Famunda these nuts? And he's like, what are you talking about? And then I remember that even though I'm a small child, there are smaller children.
There are smaller children than you.
Seems like.
Hey, speaking of small children, after you hang out with us tonight, you're going to go on a date with your not Todd boyfriend who looks like Todd.
It's true.
See, I told all y'all that the basement babe was in love with me. She just wouldn't admit it. She went and found a younger me.
But, like, he's totally innocent.
He's like totally a rock star or something. He plays at rock concerts.
Carrying the equipment back and forth does not mean he's in the band.
Oh, no, you're right. Playing the guitar almost means it, right?
He's near the band.
You don't you don't let Virgin Daiquiri Todd listen to the show, right?
I've insisted.
I'm so sorry, doppelganger.
I just realized you called him olive oil without saying olive oil.
I did not. I said Virgin Daiquiri.
He's old enough to drink.
That's fair enough. It's okay. Don't worry
Just
about
because
it.
you're old enough to doesn't mean you do.
He's not gonna like me anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Actually, I'm sure he will. I think
No one ever
I
does.
think he will be less.
Why does he keep saying nobody likes him when there's people sitting here just that came to see him?
Because they don't.
If it makes you feel any better, I feel like he's more apt to not like Dave than you.
Oh, God. Hey, everybody, we're back live at Stebbins Con, and sitting at the table of doom, away from the basement of doom, is SyFy's Face-Off Contestant Season 8, Ben Peter. Ben, welcome to the show.
Hello, how you guys doing?
It's really, I know we met at the last Stebbins Con. I got to talk to you then, but I haven't got to have you on the show yet, which I really wanted to do. And I don't know if I probably mentioned it, but I'm a huge fan of Face-Off. And I just kind of wonder, like, what was it like to be a part of something like that is just really focused on makeup?
It's crazy. You have this workshop just full of anything and everything that you could possibly want, and you don't have to pay for it. You run over, you grab it off the shelf, either you use it or you don't use it, and then the next day you come in, it's miraculously put back in place. So it's it's like working in Santa's workshop.
I can't imagine what that, like, because the resources, like you say, they're unlimited resources. That's got to be like a real coup for an artist to do that, because I mean, I do it too. We have to pay for our own stuff.
Yeah, it's just to have that ability. I mean, they have the Warbler if you're making cosplay stuff. They have the L200 foam, different thicknesses. They've got all the different clays that you ever want to use. They've got silicone if you want to make silicone prosthetics. They've got the mold making stuff that you want to use. If you wanted to make like a resin copy of your hand, you can make it and use it for the entire time that you're on the show. It's just all kinds of stuff. Did
you get to work much with the Warbler? Because I found that stuff fascinating.
I didn't work with it before the show, so I was kind of intimidated by it. I'm familiar with it, being able to heat it up and shape it, but I'm more of a sculptor and molder. So if I was going to make something, I would just sculpt it myself and bust out a mold real quick.
Do you feel like being in that environment, like with all that creativity going, that it's easier to kind of free flow ideas for different things? Or do you guys, I don't know, how much do you guys actually share with each other?
In the beginning, we actually share quite a bit. Because we want to compete against the best. If somebody has an idea and they just want to know, how can I make this a little bit better? We offer up ideas, and then vice versa. If we're having a problem or something and somebody else is like, oh, you should try this, we help each other out. And then you get down to like I was the final 6. After that, you're on your own. You got 5 more people left. I'm sorry, but
I don't care.
I'm not carrying your mold outside. When I got a mold, I got to carry outside myself.
Well, I think what's cool about Face Off that a lot of other reality shows, they have this kind of like constant hatred, it seems like, for everybody. But Face Off seems like a really cooperative environment,
Yeah, they figured that out the first season. The first season,
I remember that.
They wanted all the drama and all the crazy stuff, and the people, the viewers and stuff actually were writing to Face Off and saying, we don't want to see that. We don't want to see him acting out and stuff. We want to see the makeups and stuff, and they really took that to heart and ended up beating out The Amazing Race, America's Got Talent, The Voice. They beat out all of those for the Critics' Choice Award for our season, actually, for season 8. So obviously there was a lot of other seasons prior to that helped with that. But I like to think that our season was the one that really pushed it.
No, I think it's well deserved because I can't stand that drama shit. Like, I just want to see the makeup. The makeup is the point of the show, And it's so cool to see a show like that exist in a world where a lot of movies are going, full CG. I'm a traditionalist. I love, practical makeup. I always have. Is it hard for you in being in the industry to see how much is going CG these days?
I think it's kind of funny because you'll even see it in the box office where people want to do a full CG movie and then they turn around and they start getting bad reviews and they wonder why. And I think the thing that's really going to bother our industry is 3D printing. You get somebody that can go in and sculpt something online or on a program like ZBrush, and then turn around and print it out. But then you still have to have the next person go through and do the final touch-ups and clean it up and paint it. And if there's battle damage on it, they've got to be able to paint it. You can't print that on it.
No, and the 3D printing now, it's not to the point where things are very smooth. Like, I've gotten a few things, and the plastic is very rough and heavily textured still because the printing is not quite at that level. But there are people that now it's to the point where people are getting home 3D printing now for not very much.
Like $300.
Yeah, it's cool for somebody who does what I do, because when I make action figures, it's like, I can make parts, that's great. But I can see how it could definitely be something that would be damaging in the industry, in the makeup industry. Now, what is it like to be judged, to be standing up there and get judged? That process, is that as rough as it looks on TV?
Well, it's funny because they'll call your name and okay, Ben, step forward, and you go stand up there. and you're kind of looking at your makeup because they're standing next to you, and the judges are saying, okay, well, tell us about your design. So you start talking about what you did. Well, the next thing you know, you start hearing wah, 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 because, like, you don't know, like, what's going on. You're just standing there, and they're critiquing your stuff, and you hear little bits and pieces of it, but you're in so much awe that they're like, okay, you need to work on this and this and this, and you're like, okay. You go off stage, and you don't remember what they said. You're like, yeah, I was doing this, and I don't remember. I'll work on it for next time.
Yeah. No. So what is Glenn like in person? I have to ask.
Glenn's one of the nicest guys ever.
Wow, he really does not come off that way, does he?
I know, he's super cool, and that's like, a lot of people give him a hard time because he's like this, gothic, steampunk person, and he loves steampunk. Steampunk's,
I'm wrong with that. Steampunk is awesome.
Yeah, but like, people take it the wrong way, and it's just like, he's super cool, and like Neville Page.
I have a ton of respect for that guy.
That guy, in the way that he critiques your work, like I have a fine arts background, and so when he talks, critiquing, he does it with a fine art style, negative space and dark things visually way heavier than light things and stuff like that.
I was just looking at his body of work. He's absolutely brilliant.
Oh yeah.
And then to be, I would just say to be lucky enough to be judged by V. Neal.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine because she's done things, just so many iconic makeups. Right. Yeah.
Well, in the application, she's really good at, blend edges and, being able to tell you, different ways of doing things that help out, even like with beauty makeup, how to accentuate the eyes to pull them up instead of push them down, if you're trying to make a beauty makeup. Or if you're doing a villain, you want to try to angle it down and make them look mean and stuff. So,
beauty makeup has got to be tricky. I don't think I can pull it off. I can't even do it when I'm painting figures.
It's I had to go through beauty class when I was at Cinema Makeup School out in California, and I did not want to do that at all. But I finally gave in, and by the end of the week or whatever, 2 weeks or whatever it was, the teacher was like, "Wow, you've got really nice straight lines and a nice, soft hand with the brush. You don't want to poke somebody's eye out." And I was using my other techniques to pull off the beauty makeup, and they work hand in hand with each other. So it's all right.
When you go through the process of deciding which model you want to use, do you judge how their face looks on the what do you call it, the
life cast?
Yeah, on the life cast. How do you make that decision?
So the first thing I do is hopefully I'm one of the first picks.
Yeah.
Because if you're one of the last picks, you don't have a choice anymore. You get what you get. But the first thing I look at is it going to be a male? Is it going to be a female? Do I want a model that's tall and muscular for a Ram Cactus Hunger Games challenge? I use Cody. Cody's this tall, muscular guy.
Yeah.
And then we use him for the demon again. Me and Julian did the sound challenge. We did this big demon devil. And the cool thing about him was I already had worked with him 2 prior times, so I knew that I wanted him to be athletic, and we didn't even have to put a suit or a shirt or anything on him.
Big guy,
He's already ripped, so I was like, all right, I'm going to paint your body red, and then I'm going to airbrush your muscle tone. Well, when I was ready to do the muscle tone, he stood up and flexed, and every muscle just popped out. So all I had to do was just contour underneath each muscle.
Oh, that's awesome.
And just made it work. It was perfect. But then if you need a character that's really animated and plays a lot, there's certain girls that you can pick. And even if you're doing a male character, you can still make that female look male just the way you sculpt the piece. But like Megan, everybody wants Megan because she's really animated and she really gets into character. And then Nayeli, she's got these real big eyes, beautiful eyes. So when you sculpt something, you can sculpt it a little bit bigger, and when you look at it on her with the sculpting applied, it matches perfect. She got these big, beautiful eyes, and she's great for beauty makeups. So yeah, it just depends on who's out there, what you're trying to eventually create, and hopefully you get the model you want. If not, then good luck.
There's a model. I'm not sure if he was on your season. There's a model he's got to be my favorite, especially more recently. He's very lantern jawed. He's got really just
Could have been
like a
Matt
very
Bell,
lantern jawed, and he's got a great, and he's really he acts well as well.
Yeah.
I think that's got to factor into it, like the way that they act in the makeup too. Because I know some of the I noticed some models they'll just kind of come out and stand. And then some of them they really get into it. I know that they did an episode with Doug Jones. I think it was last season where he came in and talked to them about movement.
That was our season.
Oh, was that your season?
That was our bridge challenge. When I did the
yes.
troll.
Oh, the troll. Yes. And that guy, I'm a huge Doug Jones fan. And if anybody knows how to act in makeup, you know, it's him.
Oh, he did Hocus Pocus. He was the, was it Billy?
Yep.
There was the zombie Billy with his mouth sewn shut. That was Doug Jones.
Angel of Death and Hellboy and Abe Sapien, which is one of my favorite makeup characters ever.
He was the Moon Man from like the McDonald's commercial.
Yeah.
He was the Moon Man back in the day.
Mac the Knight.
Mac the Knight. And then what else? He's done so many things.
He also had Todd McFarlane in your season too as a guest judge, right?
Yeah, that was our superhero challenge, and I was up on stage, and Todd McFarlane come walking by with all the judges. Well, they stand in front of me, and he starts poking me and punching me in the chest. And I'm just kind of looking at him, and you know, Neville's just talking to me, and then you know all the other judges are talking. Well, Todd McFarlane starts punching me even harder in the chest. I'm kind of looking at him, and Neville understands, you know, that I was prior military and stuff. He gets it, and he leans over to Todd and he goes, "I wouldn't be doing that if I was you." He says, "Why?" He goes, "That's the real deal under there." You know, he was actually in the military. And Todd kind of looks at me, and then they just walk away. And that's the first time I was like, you know what, Neville understands. You know, like, you know, he knows that if I wanted to, you know, we wouldn't be standing here anymore. Like,
I'm sure when you have to talk to your models a lot when you're doing the makeup. Do they ever talk about what it's like to be standing there in the makeup and getting, you know, the judging? Because I know some of them will like get into it and kind of act at them and stuff, and some of them will just stand there.
Well, yeah, is what you do is you really have to play them up and explain to them, okay, you are a troll that plays with little kids. You know what I mean? You're not going to kill them. You're the one, you know, you want to play with them and have fun with them. So you got to be playful. Or, you know, you're a demon, you know, and you're going to, you know, you just kill anything and everything around you. So they have to really get into that personality. So you have to explain to them what you want. And then you just hope they have the sense to really provide what you're asking. Sometimes they don't. You're wondering, what did I get into? Yeah. What is this guy?
I have to ask you about the kids challenge because it's the infamous.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I actually did enjoy it when they said, okay, you know, walk up onto this playground. They say, all right, you know, all these imagination stuff, blah blah, and you know, nothing's more imaginative than the imagination of a kid. And I kind of sat there and I was like, man, this could be a really fun challenge, you know, like I got excited for that one. And then I got the kid that wanted everything.
I remember watching it at home thinking, oh, you got screwed.
Yeah. Well, we were sitting there on the playground, and I was talking to his name's Blaine, and he's still acting and stuff. He's a really cool kid. And I'm talking to him, and he's saying, I want this and this, and he's gonna have wings on his head and no legs and tail, and he's blue and he's big. And I'm like, I told him, I said, you know, I gotta put a human in this. He goes, no, just make a puppet. I was like, no,
I can't do that.
I have to put a person inside this. And he's like, no, just make a puppet. I'm like, Wayne, have you ever seen this show? Do you know what show you're on right now?
I should have put you on the Henson Challenge show.
Like, what are we doing here? And so, anyway, so I see the producers walking by. He looks right at me and he goes, let's go talk to Ben. And I looked at him. I did the little knife to the neck. I was like, no. He said, we'll come back to Ben. Just like he knew I wasn't in the mood for it anymore. And I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. And, you know, I literally had 19 hours from start to end.
Oh,
now, that's it. That's all you get. Minus your lunch during the second day. And the 30 minutes that you get to design.
I can't imagine the pressure that has to be.
I did a full suit, head to toe. Now, obviously,
fun for Doom.
Yeah, but obviously,
507.
But who was it? Who's the other kid that did the full suit? I totally am blanking on his name.
I couldn't tell you.
My buddy, Adam. The Crimson Wave.
The Crimson Wave.
Anyways, he did a full suit, and it was phenomenal. Even when I was looking at it, I was like, man, this is going to be sweet. Luckily, he won it.
Yeah.
You know, he deserved it. And, but that was just, you know.
Live podcasting.
Yeah. We're standing on stage, and the little kid, Blaine, looks up at me. He goes, mine's got 3 heads. And I was like, yeah.
It sure does,
Sure
buddy.
does, buddy. It might be all it has, but you got your 3 heads. So.
I can imagine how frustrating it must have been. Because I know kids, they'll be like, oh, make Godzilla, but not Godzilla, you know?
Yeah, Adam had to explain to him about copyright infringements. So, make it look like Godzilla.
I can't do that, though. So I have to ask, though, what was it like to be up there for the elimination?
Well, I had been up there a couple times, especially after the first challenge I was up there. So standing up there, you kind of expect to hear your name, you know, and every time they say, and the person going home is, you're thinking, Ben. They say someone else's name, and you're like, oh, thank God, you know. And then finally they say my name, and I'm just like, all right, yeah, you got me.
How did you feel about, like, did you feel like you went out on one that you weren't necessarily happy with, or?
Well, of course I wasn't happy with it, you know. If I had an extra 3 hours or 2 hours or 1 hour, you know, everything, you know, something would have changed. But, you know, I was expecting to go home on that one, so it wasn't very devastating, you know. And I was happy that Blaine was happy, and a lot of people were, you know, even the other contestants, they were excited to see how much work got done in that amount of time. Even my coach Anthony, he was, you know, extremely happy with the amount of work that was done. So, you know, I didn't feel too bad.
I remember thinking at the time we kind of thought you might be safe because of the amount of work that you put in.
That's what I was hoping.
We were like, maybe he's, because I mean, we were like, maybe.
Yeah.
Because you got to root for the hometown guy, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Now, of all the ones that you did, what do you think is the one that has gotten the most positive reaction?
Oh, well, a lot of people like the troll.
Yeah.
But a lot of people like the ram cactus, the Hunger Games challenge.
It's so unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just having the crossbreed like that, but the horns, I think, is the best. Yeah.
Well, that's why I ended up winning that challenge. Having the negative, the negative space in the horns and the feel that actually made it feel like bone and horns and stuff.
I love the demon. I was telling you earlier, but I also love the I don't know. I always call it the Lady Gaga one because that's what it reminds
me.
The
Clive Barker challenge.
Yeah, because I love the head sculpt on that one. Her cowl was gorgeous. How did you come up with that? I have to ask. It's so out there.
I didn't know. Originally, I wanted to do like some kind of a fetish model that had a whip and, you know, all this stuff. But she had this real nice outfit. But then as I looked at it, she had this shiny, you know, dress tutu thing. And I kind of decided to make that into more of a like a piece of glass, you know, and it's more fluid. And so that turned into her face that has got glass that's, you know, growing around her head. And if you look at the back of her head, she's got, it looks like a leather corset that she's matching around her chest, her body. And, you know, I had to try and tie those together and stuff, and luckily it all worked out.
The way it contrasts, it almost looks like a liquid, like it's a liquid metal or something almost. I was just really impressed by it. I think Glenn was a big fan of that one too, and I assume that because it's, you know, his sort of sensibility, I would think that he would be a big fan of that.
Well, I think the thing that he liked the most is seeing how her corset actually looks just like the back of her head, or vice versa.
Oh yeah.
And I hand sculpted that. I did find these little brass pins that are perfectly circular that looked like the one on her corset, and I put them right into the clay right before I molded it and gave it that, you know, final touch, and it paid off. Glenn loved it, you know, and I'm not sure, I don't remember what V said to it about it, but you know, everybody else was just ecstatic that it matched so well, and it had the avant-garde and the beauty and the Clive Barker-esque, and, you know,
it definitely fit the challenge for sure. It was very Clive Barker, and not in the way that like the Cenobite, but more in the way that just the way that his things are fluid in that way. Yeah.
Well, because we had a model that already had a costume. We could not change the costume.
No. Yeah.
So we had to make a makeup to match the costume. You know, and some people thought that Kelly should have won. You know, I looked at it and I thought all she did was throw a bunch of blood on, you know, a sculpt. You know, and that's not what Clive Barker does. Clive Barker, if you look at the Cenobites, the Cenobites have very little blood on them.
No, they're very intricately sculpted.
Yeah, and they're very clean. Like if they did kill someone, they would wipe their leather off and then
that black bondage with the pinhead and with the other Cenobites. Yeah, absolutely. And, it's all very clean and sharp angles and clean and
So, and that's. You know, I caught a lot of flack from people like, oh, Kelly should have won, and
I disagree. I mean,
there could have been a lot of people that could have won, but, you know, luckily I got picked for it.
It's all Monday morning quarterback with that shit.
Yeah, you should have ran it instead of threw it at 4th down. Really? Thanks for telling me now. After we look at it, hindsight's 2020.
Now, when they've been doing a lot of the seasons where they have people come back, would you go back and do another?
I've been thinking about that. I guess it would just determine if I could, you know, get away from work and stuff, and maybe contact some of the other past people and see if they might be getting on.
Have you maintained a lot of friendships from the show?
Yeah, I still talk to Logan and Adam, Rob, Anthony, Jamie, Stephanie, Regina, a little here and there. Emily on Facebook mostly, because she doesn't come out to the conventions much, or the ones that I go to at least. I've even got contact with RJ.
RJ's awesome. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, and Roy.
Roy too. Yeah, I met Roy. I met him at Lexington this year.
Yeah.
And he was signing autographs. He sat down with me for about 20 minutes and just chatted. Just out of the blue, nicest guy.
Yeah.
And extremely talented fabricator. I've never seen anybody who could fabricate like that guy.
See, and I thought that I was a good fabricator, but then like I look at the stuff that he did on the show.
He's amazing.
I'm nowhere near. I'll admit it, you know. And I don't know if I ever want to be that way. You know, I'd rather do the stuff that I'm halfway decent at and get good at it. Where he does everything, you know.
Now, getting on the show, is that a really complicated process, or?
Yeah. So what you have to do is you have to fill out the application. You have to make a video that's like 7 minutes to 8 minutes long or something. And it's either you applying makeup on yourself or applying it on someone else. And then you have to send in a portfolio of your work. Could be drawings, sculptures, paintings. Probably the more stuff that you send in and like multimedia really helps, so they can see a vast variety of stuff. You don't want to just send in a final product and say, here, this is the makeup I did.
Yeah.
You know, they want to see what the prosthetic was that went on. You know, did you make the mold of the prosthetic or did you buy it? You know, stuff like that. And then if they decide to bring you out to California, then you got to fly out to California for a week. You have to do a 2-hour makeup live in front of someone on yourself, and then you have to meet with the producers and talk about who you are on camera, so they can see how you are on camera. And that's really your last chance to seal the deal. And there was people that I made friends with while we were there, and we get to the airport and we're talking about, what do you think? Oh, I don't know. And then they're not on the season that you're on. You're like, well, I wonder what happened, because they did a really good 2-hour makeup. What happened? So obviously the producers see whatever they want to see. We don't get to see, that side of it. And it could be the person froze up on camera. You ask them a question, they go, you're thinking, you got to speak. You're on camera. Say something, Yeah,
I always wonder how much it factors into it, like how your look and everything like that. I know that must be a part of the process, because they want people that are unique and memorable, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, luckily they wanted a big, bald, former military guy that can do beauty makeup also. So luckily they found it. And, then other times you're thinking, and if you look, there's always, the suicide girl, or the preppy guy, or the athletic guy, or
usually there's an older guy.
Yeah, I kind of fell in that one luckily too. So there, you have to have. Not everyone can be the special effects artist that comes right out of Hollywood. you wouldn't want to see that. I mean, they might have really good makeups, but then again, you know, you don't want to see robots on stage.
Do you think that everybody that does the show, do you think they're pretty grounded in reality as to like how things go afterwards, or do you think that like some people come into it thinking like this is gonna make my career, you know, that kind of a thing?
I mean, I don't know how other people went about it. I kind of figured, you know, I hoped that maybe this would help boost my career, and it has in ways. But I really wasn't expecting anything. If you start to expect stuff, then you get let down real easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there were people that they thought that this was going to be the end to their, you know, their past life, you know, and they were going to move to California and do all this crazy stuff. The thing is, you still have to be an artist. You still have to do the late hours. You still have to put the hard work into it. You know, you still have to do what everyone else has to do. You know what I mean? You just have the opportunity to be on national television so people get to know who you are.
Yeah.
And they only get to see a brief amount of who you are. That's not even really who you are. You know, before I went on the show, you know, I was prior military, was kind of, you know, standoffish towards people. Yeah. Because, you know, in the military, you don't know if you're coming home tomorrow.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So you do your thing, you stay away, you know, you make friends, but you know, after the show, if I'm walking through Kroger's or Walmart or, you know, Piggly Wiggly or wherever I'm at, stop and say hi. You know what I mean? I've had people come up and say, hey, do I know you? I said, I don't know, you watch Cops? You know, that's usually the first reaction. Or they look at me like, yeah, that's not where I know you from. I said, yeah, I was on TV, you know, and they start talking to them, you know, and a lot of them were surprised that, you know, I'm willing to answer questions and I'll take pictures with them and, you know, sign something that they have. Here, can you sign this? Yeah, sure, whatever, you know, like, I don't mind. You know, I started out as a fan for the show. You know, I watched the show as a fan. Yeah. And I know how it is to be a fan, obviously. So when people come up to you, you want to be able to talk to them and say hi and all this other stuff.
Absolutely.
You know, you don't want to just stuck up. And there are some people that think that they're above everyone else. And I was on TV and all this stuff. Man, anybody can be on TV. Look at Honey Boo Boo.
Well, I have to say, we do a lot of conventions, not just setting up, but we, you know, go to a lot of conventions. And every person from Face Off that I've met has been nothing but great. And, you know, talked to you, talked to Roy, I met Rashad, you know, a few times, and everybody has been fantastic. So, no, I really appreciate that, because we've all had our bad celebrity experiences at cons, for sure. Speaking of the concert, I know, you know, Roy is doing it a lot, and I know RJ is really hitting the concert heavy. Is it something that you're enjoying doing?
I do like doing them. It's being able to take the time off of work. Being able to get connected with the con people. You know, I've tried to reach out to a couple conventions and they never got back to me. So, you know, I don't know if they just had enough people to not have to fill a spot or what the case was.
It's all about who you know. I can tell you that from doing this for 2 years now. It's all about who you know.
Right. So, we'll see what happens. Now, I'm hoping 2016 will help, you know, with some other projects that I'm working on, more fine arts background and stuff. Not so much makeup. But I still want to try and do like a really cool zombie makeup for Walker Stalker Con Chicago.
Oh yeah.
I want to get back up there to that one. And then maybe do maybe a cool makeup for Halloween, you know. Something big. Maybe I can enter it into a costume contest or something. So I don't know, we'll see. But, you know, it's all about the money.
I really appreciate you coming over and sitting down and talking with us. It's more than I could hope for as far as time goes. If people want to follow you on social media, where can they do that?
Hit me up on Twitter, Benjamin J. Peter 1. You can find me on Facebook. My page is Ben Peter and CO and Company. Go ahead and like that. And then I'm also now on Periscope.
I saw that,
Same as Twitter. I'm going to try and do some cool, very forward-thinking, very deep artistic stuff with that. So.
Awesome. Yeah, I recommend heavily. I mean, of course, we're Facebook friends, and I follow pretty heavily, but I'd recommend that everybody go out and do that, because Ben's an extremely talented guy, and his sculpture work is fantastic, and he's very funny as well.
I do post a lot of political stuff right now. So if
Everybody's posting a lot of political stuff right
if you're
now.
not into the whole political thing, then maybe wait until after the elections.
If they can put up with me angrily bitching about Star Wars or something, they can put up with that too.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on the show. Thanks for coming over.
No problem.
Oh, well, hi.
We figured it out.
We stole Todd's computer.
Yes, after a few misclicks, we got it figured out.
He made us be quiet for way too long while I was talking to the face-off guy.
Yeah. Then some random, like, hairy guy showed up. We talked to him for a while, and
Yeah, he's just all about talking to these people. But here's the thing. He doesn't know that, we're going to listen to it later and comment and be like, you made us be quiet. Running commentary. The best part about Stebbins Con is we get to see our friends. It's like a secret hangout.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's vendors and it's cool, but just hanging out's probably more fun.
It's true.
It's kind of like going to Origins for us. Like, it's cool to walk around and everything, but the best part is just sitting in the room and getting drunk and hanging out with friends.
I think it's wrong to sneak a flask into a high school con.
Yeah. I feel, that
Probably. We're those kids. We would have, done it in high school, so now we have to bring our flasks and our cigarettes and stand outside like cool kids.
right. Girls. Like, that's one thing I noticed. We keep going out to smoke. I'm like, we were one of like 5 people that go out there. Everybody else is like, oh, guys, smokers.
It's true, but I mean, it used to be huge in the nerd.
Now it's all vaping because they're like, oh, it's electronic. But
Let's just go on a vaping rant right now.
where to start though? Like,
I mean, they're just douches. My cloud of smoke's bigger and it's organic, so I'm gonna go in the restaurant next to you and puff huge clouds. No.
like I'm all for vaping. I don't like when they blow it directly in your face. Like, you have this guy and he's like, oh, my mod's so great, and he'll sit there and just blow it directly in your face. And he's like, well, if I have to smell your cigarette smoke, then you have to smell my vape. I'm like, but you're in the smoker shack at work. Like, you don't want to smell our cigarette smoke, then go vape at the corner.
You can vape anywhere you want to.
Right. Like, you can vape inside if you wanted to, but you come out here to sit with us in the smoker shack.
You come out to like socialize, but really you just come out to blow your smoke in my face. Look at them, they're pretending to shop.
I think Scott might actually be shopping.
Scott got Todd his stocking, I think. Maybe.
Did he get Todd his stocking, or did he get the stocking for Veronica and one for him?
Maybe got one for Ronnie and one for him.
Or Logan and Ronnie? Wait, he doesn't put thought into gifts. Never mind.
I was gonna say, if he didn't get one for his wife, he is the worst husband ever. And by wife, I mean Todd, not.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, he might have.
You know what the great part is Todd's gonna delete all of this, and he's never gonna listen to it. He's gonna be like, why is there an extra 20 minutes of commentary? It's because we were watching your ass while you were walking around the con. It happens.
It does. It kind of wiggles when you walk. Your hips shift like a woman.
It's true.
Shake that moneymaker.
I would give you $1. I hope when you're listening to this in the basement later, you're like, tee hee.
No, he's gonna do this. You can't see it, but I just bit my knuckle.
Yeah, it happens. We're predicting your later moves when listening. You know what the sad part about Stebbins Con? There are no cute boys here. There's not one.
No.
Other than Todd, who, we think you're cute.
Yeah. I mean, according to you, my guy looks just like you, so.
She wouldn't be dating your doppelganger if she didn't.
It's true.
I don't know what's up with the dude that decided to walk in at the end dressed like Nightwing. Like,
He's here every year in the exact same costume.
And he shows up late. It's like, does it take that long to put on your costume? You think you would set your alarm. I set my alarm earlier to put my makeup on.
I feel like maybe he has to work or something and then comes in late. But he's here every time. And it's the same with, he shows up at Gym City and he'll show up a few other ones in this area. And it's always like an hour before close and he's got the full costume.
Maybe it's just a lot of work.
Or it feels like people are going to start knocking prices down at the end of the con.
I mean, they did. But that's just because this con needs more advertising and more followers.
Yeah.
So next time, we should hit up all of our friends like 3 weeks before and be like, you should be there.
Right. It's a good little con. It's better when this year when the Lucha band is not here.
Oh, and Little Miss Pornstar, who was here last year.
Yeah, I missed that. I had to work last year, but
Zip-up dresses, not classy.
no. Oh, was that the massive rat girl?
She had a massive rack, and she talked like this. Hi, I get naked for money.
I mean, I guess if I got paid to get naked, I'd probably pretend to be an airhead too, because it's easier to be dumb.
It's true. It's okay, because I have no brains.
You've been fucked out.
How much fucking does it take to fuck your brains out?
I don't know.
This is the only part Todd's gonna listen to. Exactly. We need a mathematical equation to tell us.
Well, it depends. Would it be based on intelligence? The more your brain hits your skull, would it dumb you down slowly?
Maybe it's like marijuana. It just slowly kills your brain cells.
So you need to have a lot of high and drunk sex, and that'll help.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with drug sex.
No, I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, if those two things kill your brain cells, I mean, it would help the progress.
I mean, would that just make you complete bimbo if you did all three all the time?
Make you awesome.
Make you awesome. This is the life I want to live. Right here.
Right here, right now. Oh God, he's gonna come running across you I got it. He's done.
Oh, he can't hear this later. Yeah, we're dissing you on there. Who walks up and kisses somebody?
Kiss everybody.
Kiss everybody.
I had expected him to try to kiss the dude that was sitting here.
Right. I don't know you, but I'm gonna kiss you too.
Kisses for everybody.
That's the new basement fodder. Come to our booth, you get a kiss.
No, because if they do that, I'm usually here, and they'll be and she's in charge of that.
Official basement babe duties.
No, Maya, she is the mini basement baby, therefore she can give all the kisses.
Maya, the mini basement baby, says hi. She's glaring. You can't hear her. She's glaring at this computer wholeheartedly.
We're interrupting her Phineas and Ferb.
It's true. If Phineas and Ferb cosplayers were here, I think she would tackle them.
There were at Lexington.
I want to go to Lexington. If I can.
You go, you just ride with us. It'll be fun.
Give me a babysitter for the weekend, and it'll be no holds barred. And then we'll steal the computer again. We'll just have secret after episodes. We'll call it Basement After Dark.
We already do that. It's called the Christmas show.
I want to be on the Christmas show.
Show up and be on the Christmas show.
Well, we'll just put Maya to bed. Logan will be upstairs. We'll be Santa will be here. Drunk in the basement. I'm sorry. Santa threw the presents at some point. We're talking about you, Dave.
We usually do that after Christmas. It's the weekend after. So the kids are cool, I got toys, I'm playing, I'm out.
This year Christmas consists of Monster High Castle.
She's got that thing all up in her mouth.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
I know.
No, she guessed.
He's gonna know, but what's bad is that we're gonna sit here and do all this, and then I can see him making a little extra episode of They Took Over.
And the takeover begins.
This is what happens when you leave us at the booth.
You're no, man my booth. Well, I will man more than your booth. I'm gonna man your computer.
Because nobody's showing up to play the game, because nobody walks all the way over here. So we're entertaining ourselves.
We can play the game.
I don't want to give $1.
I don't either.
We just keep rolling dice. Yay, we won this.
Wait for Todd to walk back. Can I borrow $1? Roll the dice. Here you go.
No, have Scott give you $1. Hey, can I borrow $1? I gotta charge you for that kiss my kid gave you.
$1 a kiss. This is my new lucrative career. I'm gonna go to cons and I'm gonna set up a kissing booth and I'm gonna dress me and Vicky up and we're just gonna have a nerdy kissing booth.
What was it you said at Origins? Walk up to the bar. Hi, I like all the things you do. Not only do I like them, I revel in it. I'm your dream girl. Buy me a drink.
Right? Hi. I get your references. I will laugh. You want to talk Doctor Who? I got you. Comics? No, what's up? Star Wars? It's what I cut my teeth on. What you know about that. The only part about nerd guys that makes me mad is when they're like, no, I totally like this. And then you sit down and you talk about it and you're like, but you're wrong. You're wrong. I know more than you and you are humiliating yourself right now. And they're like, I'm right. And you're like, do you understand my phone has Google? We can argue about this, or I can just Google it and we can find out. And then I can move on to the next nerdy guy that's willing to buy me a drink.
I don't get that so much as I do, like, they'll start asking, like, obscure things, and I'm not one that I can, like, wholeheartedly obsess over everything that I like. So they'll be like, oh, well, you like comics, what about this character? I'm like, I've never even heard of it. Oh, you don't read comics. That pisses me off so bad.
It does, because, you know, they don't read all genres. How many of them probably go out and read slave labor comics? I could talk about Squee or, you know, Johnny the Homicidal Maniac or Lenore, and they'll be like, who's that? But it's totally valid underground comics.
And they're just like, oh, well, it's not Marvel or DC. Like, you'll get some guys that are into, like, Dark Horse,
but Dark Horse even, I mean, they dabble in the mainstream. And it's not all about, I don't know, nerds are so stuck up. They're like, you have to like what I like or you're not a real nerd. Well, no, there's such a wide variety I'm enthusiastic about. I mean, if we're counting bronies in, then girls sure as hell can be nerds. I'm sorry. If you're a dude and you like My Little Ponies and you still count as a nerd, then a chick that reads only the New 52 can be a nerd. I'm sorry. I can suck it.
I find a lot of, like, nerd guys to be just very almost harsh about it, like, oh, well, you don't like what I like, therefore you're not a nerd.
It's like when you talk about video games and they're like, oh, well, you play RPGs and MMOs, but you don't play RTSs and blah, blah, blah. Well, no, you have your favorite video games, I have my favorite video games. If you only play FPS, then you're a bro, and you're pretending to like video games.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Call of Duty, I can give my 5-year-old the controller right now and she can kill somebody in Call of Duty. She can't go through and play all of Fable and meet the mini quests and beat the game. It's a game designed to shoot somebody in the head with an easy 2-button click system. Welcome to, like, baby gaming. Oh, hey, I played those when I was like 10. Thanks.
I just don't enjoy first-person shooters, and that's the first thing we're like, oh, what about, like, Grand Theft Auto and all those?
Oh.
I'm like, I liked them when I was younger. It was fun to play, but now that I'm older, I'm like, I'd rather have Dragon Age or Skyrim or something to go through and play an actual storyline with.
Right. And as far as FPS goes, the only FPS I'll play is Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. And even then, it's just because they're zombies.
Halo, I tried to do Halo, I couldn't.
I can do Halo, but only when I've been drinking and if it's on friends. I don't like playing campaign unless I have my friends with me. And last time I was Halo and I had the headset on, somebody said, hey little boy, do you talk to your mom with that mouth? Oh shit, we're being taken over again.
Oh no, they're back.
Stop it.
I don't know what the fuck happened while I was gone. I didn't even get to do my outro thanking Ben for being on the show.
He's going to have to go back and edit it. That's what
No,
he's gonna
I will have to go back and edit. I already have to do that anyway because I said my other name, but it doesn't even matter anymore, though.
I think
Dirk already killed the bubble on that when he posted that picture of our faces.
I was like, oh, maskless men. Who is that?
Yes, Manning. No, big, huge thanks to Ben Peter for being on the show. And he's interested in doing the Todd Files, too, so I'm really psyched about that. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for Stebbins Con since it's getting towards the end of the day. We're at about an hour anyway, which is a good time for the show to be over.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'll have to listen to it first. It's just you talking about how much you love me.
It is in there. It is. We talked about your butt at one point.
Yeah.
How it's horrifying.
No.
It's massive and filled with hate.
No.
Oh, it is filled with hate.
Well, it's.
But we didn't say that.
That's the hate out.
It lets the hate out and the room just cleared. Dave and I were at Half Price Books last night. No, night before last. No, it was last night. Last night we were at Half Price Books and we were looking at comics. And I unabashedly fart everywhere in public. I don't care. You guys know that. I fart on the show all the time. Dave burps, I fart. I farted in the bookstore, and it smelled so bad that I thought I needed to go to the hospital. I thought that something may literally have died inside of me. I thought perhaps my pancreas died or something, and it smelled so fucking bad that, like, you could see the pages of the comics start to curl. And normally, I don't give a shit. I'll be like, yeah, I farted or whatever. And I was so embarrassed. And of course, you can't be embarrassed around Dave because he will immediately call you out on it.
That is true.
And just shove the whole thing up in your face. He's like, hey, buddy, what? Oh, God, what's that horrible, horrible smell? Oh, my God, the deal. I'm like, please, God, shut up. Oh, God, for once, I'm just begging you to shut up. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, buddy? What about it, buddy? What's going on? Did you shit your pants? Do you need to wipe your ass, buddy? It could have been worse. Now, he was being toned down. He's being quiet. It was mostly just me hearing it, but I was still fucking mortified. Because if anyone would have tried to walk by while that smell was there, they would have died. And I would have been responsible for the death of random ass people, which doesn't matter because most of the people in the bookstore are fucking hipsters and I hate them. But
You just released Golgothan.
I did. I released a Golgothan shit demon all over half-price books about the road. Not only that, but it was just, oh man, it was just like it would stay forever. Like it's one of those ones that didn't dissipate at all. It was from the time it came out to the time we left. It didn't diffuse at all. Just like you walked into an invisible wave of poop.
You're gonna go in there next week.
It's still smelling. No, I tell you what happened. I was at the other bookstore. And I was looking through comics, and this hipster with this hipster slick back Brill Cream hair and his girlfriend were standing behind me, and they were just staring at me. And I'm like, I'm looking at comics. You go fuck yourself. And the dude's like, I'm like, okay, what are you, like a small child or something? He's like, excuse me, we want to look at those. And I'm like, I'm still looking at them. He's like, whatever. Could you move? And I was just like, nope. And ripped a big hellacious fart as hard as I possibly could. I damn near blew the Brill Cream off his hair, and I didn't give a solitary fuck. I mean, not one did I give.
He was a Dapper Dan man.
He was. He was a Golgothan man after that.
Well, why wouldn't you just walk around to the other side?
I don't know. There's two fucking sides of comics, man. What gives you the right to have more, to be able to look at stuff more than me? Because you're a nerd with a girlfriend? I got a wife at home, fucko. She ain't here because she don't want to look at comics. But
I'm going to start doing that to people. Excuse me, I would like your space
that
you are using.
I'm more important than you. I have 3 pounds of Brill Cream in my hair. I need to look at those comics and not you.
There's an expiration time on my scalp.
The man in me was like, I need to turn around and punch this guy in the face. But then the Todd in me was like, no, just fart on it.
I feel like that was the even better thing.
Right. Yep, and they immediately left. And on that note, we're going to wrap it up from the live Stebbins Con show. As always, I'm Todd.
I'm Vicky.
Scott. And me.
And me. Me. The queen of the hot butt. Until next time, in the next show that we do, the Table of Doom is shut down.